All right, what's going on, guys? We are back with another Dokkan battle video, and today we're going to be talking about the new Android 16 and some possible EZAs that we might see come up in this celebration that could possibly help him out and make his team a little bit better, right? So looking at the schedule here, we see that Android 16 does come out in about the next, day, and then plus 30 minutes. So about midnight on the Eastern time is when we should expect to see him, along with the Banner Unit 17, and then you also have the LR Garlic Jr., who's going to be the new Battlefield LR, dropping at 3 a.m. on the 28th. So a couple hours after the Android 16, he will become available with the new Battlefield. He really doesn't do anything for 16. Looking at his kit, looking at his teams, he's not really meant to be run with 16. He's his own kind of thing. He's a demonic power, movie bosses kind of character. So we're going to kind of omit him here. 16 himself, he needs some help. So 16 does seem very good. We'll go ahead and click on his stuff here. So this is the Japanese translations on the page, so it's going to be a little wonky. But basically he leads androids in uncontrollable power. He needs a bunch of, androids to kind of help him out. He busts androids, he busts uncontrollable power. His team isn't that great, right? So the Banner Unit 17 is actually really good, and I think will actually do a great job on this team, but him alone is not going to be enough, right? He's going to need more. He's going to need more help, and here, he definitely needs more androids on the team. So let's go ahead and let's look at the android category here as a whole first, and kind of see if we can pick out some things. I've got some guys picked out here that I think we could possibly see, and then maybe some kind of off the wall kind of thing. So we'll go over EZAs, we'll go over super EZAs, and kind of see what we might be able to get this celebration to help out our boy 16. So looking at the androids category as a whole, it's really not that great. It's not a great category. Super 17 is good with his EZA. He also does need androids, target Goku, that kind of stuff will actually really help him out as well. So the more androids buffs, the better, right? You get 16, you get Super 17 on there, the Banner Unit 17, and then we've got Cell is actually really good. This Perfect Cell is really good with his Super EZA. And then after that, it's pretty much it. Cell Max is kind of falling off. The Gammas really aren't that great. So at that point, we start looking at, all right, what can we see EZA? So I'm gonna just jump to the most obvious one, to the one that I think we all are kind of hoping for, and that's gonna be the future 17 and 18. Now this unit is very good. Already they still are pretty viable in some content, right, with their Ghost Usher active. But I think giving them their EZA would actually be really good. Because if you look at their kit here, right, they're not bad. They're just very basic, bare bones, a 2022 type character for sure. So, bumping up these stats, giving them a little bit of extra oomph in their passive, I think would definitely do them some good. Their active skill wouldn't be changed by a EZA, but you really don't need to, because it's already pretty good. 30%, 5% or more HP, or facing 3 or more enemies, which this one, is kind of whatever. This is actually really good, right? Because one enemy whose HP is 35% or more, you can easily pop this active. You can get a Ghost Usher for that turn, and it makes them very, very powerful and very, very good for a team like 16s. I think they're the most likely and probably the most popular pick for an EZA this celebration. I know we've been talking about them getting EZA for a little while, so I think this would be the perfect time to do it. And I think it'd be great, because 16 needs a 17 and 18 for his unit super. So if you have this character in there, boom, that's easy, right? The Banner 17 would work as well, but if you don't pull him, these guys getting their EZA, I'm sure a lot of people out there probably have at least one copy of these guys at this point. We'll see. If they end up on the banner, then they're 100%. They're definitely going to EZA. But we'll be able to see all that stuff here in the next once his banner goes live, we'll be able to see who's on there, and we can kind of determine, you know, okay, so this character is definitely going to EZA because they're on the banner, you know, so hopefully we'll see them. The next one here is the banner unit Dr. Gero and Android 19. So I think this one could also be a pretty good pick, right? I mean, they boost Android's category, their support for it, that they're kind of built around trying to help androids. You know, they got their scouter here with their HP 39% or less. I think you could definitely change this to be a higher thing or another condition in here in order to make this much easier to get. And then also they've got this right here. When receiving Ki Blast super attacks, they absorb it. Like that's already, that's a powerful part of their passive right here. So having them on the team would definitely help out, kind of with a little bit more coverage, being able to help out 16. Now these guys, the Gammas, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, another very popular, very sought after EZA. These guys, when they came out, were so good that they like ran shit for a while, especially Gamma 1. Gamma 1 was incredibly good because of his ability to run in slot 1. You know, he's got all his damage reduction, he gets all his defense. He was a powerhouse, dude. And I mean, he has the unarmed super counter, which was good, but there's not as many of those as like, say, a Ki Blast super. So the unarmed super is kind of whatever, but him being able to hold up in slot 1 was incredible, right? He had this guard for 4 turns, damage reduction every time he was hit. So putting him there saved you. And then you've got Gamma 2 in slot 2. They link up super well. And then this guy's just launching attack after attack after attack after attack. And every time he does, he's building up his crit chance. So he's launching a whole bunch of attacks, you know, and then after 4 and 5 attacks of battle, he's guaranteed to launch another attack with a great chance to become a super. And then he's also got the Ki Blast nullification. So these two together were a force, and I would really like to see them again. I think now, I think they're a little less likely for this celebration. You know, the only reason they're really here is because they are androids. So figured, hell, they could work. You know, they'd be on the 200% lead because they're androids, they're artificial life form, their mission execution, like they would work on 16's 220%. So I don't know, man. I figured they'd be a good option to kind of throw in here, but I think more likely we would see like these guys over the Gammas. But hey, man, a guy can dream. A guy can dream, right? This is all speculation stuff anyway. But these guys, you know, I would assume they're probably saving them for more of a superhero celebration, right? And that's when they'll probably get their EZA. But I mean, I'm not ruling it out because they are androids. Now, to go along with them, we do have the free-to-play Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 that you were able to pick up in the Baba shop using the like plushie item. And they haven't done anything with these guys, right? They still don't even have Dokkan Awakenings. So I would think that whatever celebration, whether it be this one, whether it be the next superhero celebration, whenever these guys do EZA, I would hope to see like these guys get Dokkan Awakenings, and it kind of be a little bit like, you know, when we got the Daima Goku, we got the free-to-play Pansy, we also got the free-to-play Glorio, right? We already had a Dokkanfest Glorio. So then we got the free-to-play one. Now I'm hoping that next time we come around and we EZA these guys, that maybe these guys can get some sort of awakening or some sort of love, because they've just kind of sitting there useless for a long time. So it would be nice to see. Again, not getting my hopes super high for that, but they are androids, so I will throw it out there. Now, a couple of oddball ones that I don't think will, you know, I guess Gammas I don't think would get one either, but these guys too. So Android 16 and 18, the banner unit here, they're 2022 unit, so I mean they could technically get an EZA. You know, they are another androids character. You know, looking through their kit here, I don't think they were anything that was like super crazy. They're just super class out the same turn. Yeah, I mean they had the buffs depending on what class of character you had, whether it's super extreme, and that was kind of their whole thing. But I could, you know, they might get an EZA. We could see it. You know, it's an Android 16. It's got Android 18 in the name, so it would definitely help out with Android 16 Super. So anything with 17 or 18, I think is highly likely and definitely on the board to get us an easy A this celebration. Now, another weird one here is Cell second form. So he is another banner unit from 2022. I think this one's a lot less likely, but again, he's an android. He's Android Cell Saga, so he does fit the full 220 lead. So him getting an easy A is not completely off the table, right? Let's see, when there's an enemy whose name includes Android, so he's got that. Android Cell Saga, Extreme Class, get a buff, which 16 is. He is an Android Cell Saga. He is technically an Extreme unit, so he would definitely get this. Android Cell Saga category enemy. Yep, okay, yeah, that doesn't really apply here, but this one for sure definitely makes it a possibility. You know, the fact that he's on the full leader skill, the fact that he's got the support, it does put him on the table for a possible easy A, at least in my book. And this one's the real weird one. So Mira. Mira is technically an android. He's an artificial light form. He's on uncontrollable power. He's mission execution. We've been missing the crossover stuff. So we haven't had any of the super, like this, the heroes easy A's. And everybody's been wondering where they are. So, I mean, why not just throw this one on the table too? You know, he's an android. It could definitely help out. When all adds at the same turn are extreme class characters, boom, you could easily get that. But yeah, I think Mira as a possibility could still be there just based off the links, or based off the categories, based off the fact that he, you know, does help out extreme class, or, you know, gets a buff when he's got extreme class. And then he just, dude, I think we just need some of these, you know, crossover heroes, Xenoverse, whatever, easy A's that we just didn't get. So, I mean, I could see it. I'm throwing it out there. It's on the table. And then we go into super easy A's. So super easy A's, I'm going to start off here with Perfect Cell. Now, he's pretty bare bones, right? He got his easy A back in 2020. So pretty old unit here, pretty old easy A. I think it's about time he got buffed up, so he would work, right? He's an android. He's an artificial life form. Android Cell Saga. He would fit the bill really well. Probably run pretty good on the team as well. You know, if you're going to throw like this cell on there too, like obviously they wouldn't really link, but actually no, because he's just Perfect Cell. Yeah, because they're just all, well, he is Cell Perfect Form and he's just Perfect Cell. Does that matter? I don't know. If that is a thing, then maybe they could link, but I don't know that for sure. I'd have to test that out. Because same thing here, he's Perfect Cell as well. So I'd have to test that out to see if they actually link. But nonetheless, I think he could definitely get a super easy A. I think he's on the table. I think his time is here. I think he could definitely get it. He fits the bill. Another one is Super 17. This is another one we've all been kind of guessing for a couple celebrations now. People have kind of thrown around Super 17 for getting his super easy A. I think this is the perfect time. He's target Goku. We've already got the LR Super 17 has gotten his easy A. So give this guy his super easy A, and I think that he'll run very well. I think he'd be very good. Like, he was a tough unit, man. His damage reduction was very good. Additional damage reduction here every time he got hit. You know, all this stuff made him very, very good for a very long time. And I think you could add a little bit more sauce to him here to make him better and make him viable again. And I think running him on 16's team could actually be a really good option for those people that maybe don't have like the LR Super 17, or, you know, if they want to have someone who has a lot more damage reduction kind of built in here. He is super good. He's a very good option, very defensive. And again, I mean, he supports. So the last one here that I do have is the Friend LR Android 17 and 18. So again, this just fits the bill. Androids, they're a 17 and 18, so they help Android 16 with his unit super. They're an old unit, you know, and their easy A was back in 2022, so that's not crazy, not a crazy amount of time, but it's pretty much about the same as like everybody else on this list. So we could definitely see it. You know, give them their super easy A, make them fit in, make them fit on the team, breathe some life back into these guys. And they can definitely like help out right here, right? Extreme class allies get a buff. And I think that was, yeah, and then when attacking super class, they get more buffs here, but you can give them a lot more support, you know, and then let them, you know, they're just there to be helped to be there to use Android 16's unit super, like I said. So overall, these are my picks for who I think we could see get an easy A or a super easy A for this celebration. They're all basically based off of categories. They're based off of, you know, what would support 16 the best, because he needs it. He definitely needs the support. He is a very good unit, but his team is just not the snuff, and having these easy A's, or at least one or two of these easy A's, would really help. Now, there was something also that Proton did mention earlier, that in the table there is a slot for 2 TUR easy A's. Probably should have mentioned this kind of at the beginning of the video, but if you stuck around to the end, this is a nice little treat. So that does fit the bill for at least 2 easy A's coming from these guys. So I don't know, man. It could be any of them, but I'm going to bet my money that it's going to be them, at least. Them and probably them would be my biggest guesses here. But I guess we'll just have to see once everything actually begins. So if you guys did stick around to this video, I do appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Remember, Android 16 does drop tomorrow at midnight Eastern, along with the Banner Unit 17. I don't recommend summoning because, one, like I said, he is a very good unit. However, his team is doo-doo right now. So unless they do something to really bring that around and really bring up his value, I would say skip, because we are so close to anniversary that you shouldn't be sending your stones on anything. Use your special tickets that you're going to get from Dokkan Day, that you're going to get from the, you know, extra missions for the Seriously Serious fight. Use those, give yourself a shot there. If you don't pull them, don't sweat it. He'll be back eventually. Hopefully his team will be built up a little bit better by that point, and he'll be a little more worth summoning for, as opposed to doing it right now, 2 months away from anniversary. Just keep it all in mind. Let me know what you guys think of the Easy A picks that I had. Let me know who you guys want to see Easy A for this celebration, who you want to see Super Easy A for the celebration, and are you guys just excited for this celebration to start? And let's just throw it in there. Garlic Jr. Hey, he's coming. That's cool too. Like, subscribe to the thing, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.